vote, please, Dave. Time is 16:04, we'll start the meeting. Any public comments?
Yeah, I was just thinking, Bruno Morris is my name. I was just thinking the other day about some of the history of the fire department. And I remember a number of years ago when the decision of the commissioners was made to have the fire department join North Whatcom. And the whole idea of the Whatcom thing was that they would provide equally as good a service here, and that decision turned out to cost us, people of Point Roberts and the commission, money, as it took us some time to disengage ourselves from North Whatcom. And then the commissioners at the time, I don't know whether Bill was one of them or not, but the decision was to get control here again, and the fire department is run extremely well here. The commissions run well, the departments run well. It's a pride to the community. I look at that, and then I look at the parallel of the health board here. And unfortunately, the health commissioners don't see it, or should see it, the way it's seen by the fire commissioners, that a facility, a health system run in the interest of the immediate occupants of the community is the best way to run it, rather than to turn the system over to another provider. And that was the parallel that I was making with the fire department being run out of North Whatcom. Other than that, I simply want to say thank you for doing the job you're doing. And I'm going to go and express these same wishes to the health board when it meets again, our hospital board. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno. Thank you for your kind words. I opened that whole roller coaster with North Whatcom Fire Rescue. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at the beginning, and it didn't end pretty either. And it did cost us a lot. And no doubt we're much better off now than it was before.
Exactly.
And that's thanks to mainly the chief and his personnel.
I'd like to say something if you're finished, one more.
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
May I stay seated, Bill?
Say
May I
again?
stay seated?
Ready?
In response to what Bruno said, I think there's only two people in this room that have been here for over 25 years, and that's Pat Crow and myself. Based on my experience, I'm not trying to cast any aspersions, but in terms of the fire department, I think it's a good idea to put all your eggs in one basket and wash the basket.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Well, we're doing that. Appreciate it.
Great.
And it's a constant work project here, and that's what we do. Keep people happy, healthy, and take the fire. Okay, anybody else? No? Next one then. We'll go to the minutes for the last one.
I move for approval of minutes from August.
Okay, I want to. Okay, your second? Good, motion passed. Thank you. Betty, go ahead with your report.
We have the September warrants total $23,098.71. The total for payroll is $21,775.33. This includes Chief Carlton's salary of $5,000 and Chief Shields' pay of $2,958.33. There was one event for each of the commissioners and the secretary. volunteers, warrants included is $16,243. And you'll have your August financial statements and your meeting books for review. So we're just looking for a motion to approve the warrants and payroll for September as presented.
Okay, I see with pleasure that we are staying below our budget, and not only below last year's budget. Last year's expenditure, we're about 3.5% ahead. Anybody have any questions? No?
I move that we pay the warrants a total of $23,971 and a payroll of $21,775.33.
Second? All in favor? Yeah? Motion approved. Hey, I have a question. Rather chief, I have a question. Regarding Disney Telephone, we have an invoice on the paying and settlement on all. What's that for?
Would be telecom 78156.
The alarm monitoring.
Okay,
That's
so
what that is.
is that a yearly bill?
I believe so, that is annually.
So annually plus the additional bills that come through, so the alarm monitoring here for fire.
Okay, I didn't see another invoice for Disney Telecom.
She would combine the two invoices
Yeah.
together.
Okay.
It's on the same one. There's the local telephone,
Okay.
internet broadband, and then security and alarms is $618.46 of that.
Okay, so you lumped it into one vendor? No.
That's all they have.
Okay.
Yeah, because they don't separate it out on a separate.
Then I have one quick question for the chief. Ravenwood Landscaping, do we have a contract with the landscaper?
We do.
A year contract or a monthly?
It's on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
And I talked to a couple of lawn maintenance people here, and Raven was the one that came forward and stayed with his interest. And then he brought forward a proposal, and I accepted that proposal. He's been maintaining, I think, the grounds. You've seen a great improvement with the grounds as well. So he cuts once a week or every 2 weeks. I think it's every 2 weeks now. But he's done a great job cleaning up the landscape, the bushes and everything else out front. So there's a huge pile over here by the septic system that we have to burn this winter once the land clearing gets accepted and not prohibited anymore. But that was all the dead stuff that was out front. It's piled up by the septic field over here.
Have you made them aware that we own another 14 feet west of the parking lot that you should know into?
Towards the water district over there? I haven't. I asked him just to go up to the barrier that was currently there. So in back, we own probably another 3 or 5 feet as well in back, but that's all solid blackberry bushes back there. So if you want him to mow further over, I can.
It's an aesthetic deal, but better I know landscape, but I know they want an eye for that, so maybe if you going to have a weed killer, grower.
I grow weeds, really.
Yeah, me too. Ask him if it doesn't cost any extra, ask him if he wants to mow that too.
Okay.
Okay?
I can go find we should have a stick or something
Yeah.
in the forest back there and bring a line down
Yeah.
and find the front marker as well and see where it is. I think we stopped at the berm, that little berm off the parking lot is where he's been.
Right.
The asphalt grass.
Yeah. The property line would be basically where I think where the drain is on.
Yeah, the edge of the septic.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. I think we ought to approach this space in the back from a defensible space approach
Okay.
that like we're trying to promote in Washington and all in fire issues. And kind of take a look at it from that perspective.
Okay.
It might require a bit of clearing.
Okay. I can look into what we can clear within our boundaries.
Yeah.
To clear anything beyond that. So it's always been, it's a fear because we have such big trees behind, and during any type of major windstorm or episode, they may come down on firewall. So Cascadia events, yeah, they'll probably come down, and hopefully they all zigzag around the firewall and not come through our structure. But I will talk to you more about that, since you have a lot of experience in that, and we can take a walk around the grounds and see what you would like to have.
Maybe we can talk to the park board and see if they'd be accommodating and try to work with us.
Thanks, so.
Securing our place.
Yeah, we've talked about anchoring the trees together in the back, so tying the trees. Basically, that's what we do, we tie all the trees together. And I don't know what that would cost for that to happen. But that's another, I've talked to Bennett about that, and he's sits on that board as well, so we can have those discussions, and maybe I can make it to the next meeting along with you and see if they'd be interested in doing something.
All right, any more? No? Anybody from the public, any questions for Terry Whatcom, financial stuff? No?
Just for, about the chief? Question. Yeah, I had a question. Can you say anything about the fire department down at the marina there? I think it was 2 mornings ago at about 4 o'clock or 4:30. Was there a fire on the boat, or can you say anything about it, Chief?
No, I can speak to that a little bit different than I can medical calls. So I'm thinking you're talking about QDOC,
Yeah.
basically across from your home over there. We had a electrical fire on a boat, and it was early in the morning hours, but it was easily controlled, so we didn't have a major incident down there. The marina suppression systems, I'll just touch on that. We have, how many docks? 8?
Yeah.
You think maybe roughly 8 docks are now standpiped, but I'm working with the marina and the marina staff. They've had a changeover a little bit down at the marina recently. So that's going to I'll need to open up new discussions with the new management and the people that are part of that group. And make sure they understand that we need to keep moving forwards on the standpipe systems. We've had a lot of failures in the systems that have been provided to us. They have not been winterized, so last year, I guess 2017, when it got really cold, November, December, January, well, this last April, we went down to start doing our training on the standpipe systems and docks, and we found all but 1 dock not fail due to freezing conditions and not blowing out the docks. That's not our responsibility, that's the marina's responsibility. So that has to be overcome. There's been theft of Ys, which are components of that system, caps, which are bronze caps. There's an issue with competing metals, so electrolysis is happening down there, and it makes it difficult for us to even open up some of the standpipes when we get down to them. So there's a lot of issues that have to be overcome, and hopefully working positively with the marina staff, I'll be able to do that. If not, then we need to find a solution somehow to make it more efficient for us to be able to fight marina fires if that happens. It's not if, it's when, because it will happen again.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
On the problems and design around the marina, is there a process in place where they have to meet certain standards?
Yeah. So I'm not sure if they have to meet Coast Guard as well as Whatcom County Code standards for marinas, because they are a private marina, but I do know the fire marshal has to approve the design and has to improve the installation prior to it being checked off for the marina. So that is, I work closely with the fire marshal's office, but they have final say because they follow the current code that's in place. So I'll have to reach out to them as well, which I have not been able to do so. I just reached out to the marina again last week, I believe, is when I did that. And this is when I found out about all the changes that were taking place within the staff at the marina. So within a week, 2 weeks, I'll reach back out and see if we can't sit back down and devise a plan to correct all the deficiencies that I currently have. And if they're unwilling to do that, then we're going to have to come up with another type of action plan for the marina, whether that's wheelbarrows that have floatable pumps in them that would have components that would be locked up at the top of every third dock, you know, something like that. Or we'll have to configure a different way that we call it a marina lay, and a marina lay down the dock of 3 people dragging 3-inch, 600 feet. I mean, that's pretty tough on those 3 people. And that's may all be that I have respond, depending on the hour of the day, to that marina. So having a system like the standpipe is the best for us, as long as we're able to have confidence in that system, which I do not. So at this point, we're not using the standpipe systems that are in place. We're going to have to go back out and test them again, see which ones aren't failing, and maybe we'll keep a couple that we're okay with before winter. But once winter sets in, the freezing is going to take place. If they haven't been able to blow those out.
Is a fire marshal, can he hold their feet to the fire and stuff?
Oh yeah, he can, absolutely. Yeah, because they have to apply for permits and everything else. So the permits expire, they have to reapply. And he's been very diligent in coming up when they've put in the systems. And he's, you know, denied systems approvals because of issues, and they've had to correct those. So he's definitely on our side when it comes to, you know, not on our side, there's no sides, but he makes sure that we have the best fire suppression system that they can build for the money.
Okay, is that the NFPA code?
International Fire Code, IFC, there is an FPA, I don't know if there's an FPA that surrounds the infrastructure of marinas, but Whatcom County, I believe, follows the International Fire Code.
Okay.
Yeah. No? Good. Moving on. The motions on done now, what a budget update.
Yes, budget update. Budget remaining as of August 31st is 39.28% compared to 43.88% this time last year. That dip is mainly due to the district liability insurance was due, and we paid that in August last month, as opposed to last year in 2017, we paid it in September. So I think it'll kind of level back up next month, or at the end of this month, rather.
Yeah, so we lost 5%, and
Yeah.
just that's an explanation of why we saw that 5% reduction in the budget remaining compared to 43% last year, and now we have, I think, 39%. But it was just when we paid the insurance. We should still be ahead, so the September,
If you take that out, it's still.
yeah, the September end should come back ahead again.
Very well. Anything else from Patty? No? Okay. You still happy working with us? Happy employee is important. Okay. Correspondence. Chief?
No correspondence to mention.
Okay. No nasty letters?
Nope.
Good. Keep it in May. Chief's report.
So Chief's report for September 2018 for the month of August. Just a point of information, engine 58 is in the shop for work. With our capital facilities plan, you understand that we're taking our engines out to 40 years if they'll make it to that. And they're respectively, I believe, 27 years old and 24 years old. Right there, 91 and a 94, is that right, on the engines? And we're looking at having to take them out to 40 years. So we have to make sure that we're upkeeping them. Every year they go in for NFPA testing and credentialing. So we do that in Abbotsford at Profire. They're a EVT NFPA facility there. So otherwise they'd have to go all the way to Tacoma, most likely past Seattle. And logistically that just doesn't work for us. So engine 58 is in the shop. It's getting seat repaired that ripped. It's getting some rust work done on the middle door on the driver's side that's been there. And I'm trying to steer off a major rust issue on that engine. So we're going to get that taken care of. It's getting its brakes taken care of. And it has some wheel issues that we have to get taken care of as well. So engine 58 is probably going to be out for another week, if not 2 weeks. North Whatcom Fire's been notified response necessary because on structure fires residentials, I have 2 engines response. And since we don't have a second engine coming from this organization because engine 58 is out of service, then the CAD system pulls an engine from the county. So the first one that would pull would be in Blaine, engine 61. After that, it would be engine 63, and if things really got bad, it would be most likely engine 46 out of Ferndale. So I've alerted all of those organizations in order to make sure they understand not to come, and thus we specifically call them directly and tell them that we need their resource because they're automatically being dispatched at this point. There's nothing else to report on battalion 58, 858, chief 58, engine 5802, utility 5803, 5802. We have 46 members, that hasn't changed. We have 27 Canadian, 11 Point Roberts, 8 county members. We have 3 paramedics on staff, 15 EMTs, which 9 are advanced EMTs in the state of Washington, 3 ambassadors, and of that 46, 38 of those members are firefighter qualified. Volunteer hours for the month of August were 2,875 hours put in by our volunteers last month. Volunteer payroll, if all were getting paid, was 16,786 on stipends. Chief hours, I worked 167 hours even. Assistant Chief Shields worked 120.5. Total chief hours for the month of August was 287.5 hours. Total calls, we've been very busy. So right now we're at 240?
241.
241. Last year total we had 263 calls in the entire year. This year we're at 241 and we still have basically 4 months to go. So we're going to be probably over 300, I would assume, this year or close to, and it'll be our busiest year ever. So we had 41 calls in the month of August. We had 16 medical calls, EMS. We had 6 transports that this organization took to St. Joseph's Hospital in Bellingham. We had 1 here at Northwest. We had 9 no transports. We had 7 public service calls. We had 2 community paramedic calls, and we had 2 agency assists. Fire classification, we had 14 fire calls last month. We had 8 outdoor burns, 2 of which were permitted, 6 were illegal burns, burning illegal products, construction material, not having a permit in place, not having a water source, shovel, whatever is necessary for those types of fires. We had 2 false alarms. We had 1 vehicle fire. We had a power lines down incident. We had a boat issue. If everybody remembers, we had a boat that came up by the marina on the south shore down there, and we had to go get the people off of that during the waves, and that was definitely a rescue situation for us to try to get those people safely off their boat while the waves were crashing and the boats teeling back and forth. And we got dispatched to one wrong address. So occasionally we'll get dispatched to Tacoma, or no, just kidding, not Tacoma, but it'll be somewhere else in the county, mostly Bellingham. They'll crisscross the addresses sometimes with Bellingham, and then that gets corrected. That completes my chief's report for the month of September for August 18th. Yes, sir.
Well, I've noticed over the several years here, there's streets with the same name, primarily like Evergreen or Cedar, you know, and where I come from before we got here, addresses have to be submitted to the county for approval to avoid this kind of thing, because we get called out, why not?
Sure.
Provide the information.
Well, we have Deer Road and we have Deer Lane
Yeah.
here as well. They're in 2 separate areas of Point Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
County roads do have to be approved, but lanes, private roads, do not. So they can get named whatever they want to get named. They may have to go, I could be wrong, I could be speaking incorrectly, that a private lane doesn't have to have some type of approval. Maybe it does, I'm not aware that it does. But I know that anything that is county maintained is county named access. So we have map books that are extremely detailed, and every time we get dispatched out, they tell us what map page to go to. So we won't mix up, hopefully, Deer Lane and Deer Road, right? Because they'll be there in two separate areas of Point Roberts. Cedar Park Drive, North Cedar Park Drive, they're tagged on one another basically. So if you go down the wrong street, you can cut back down and go down the right street real quick. But our map books are very, very detailed. We spent almost $4,000 when I first came on in 2012-13 to have them GPS and calculate it out. And that has definitely helped us in our responses to these weird little streets and addresses. So I'd like to go back to the Canadians that we have on this organization, the Canadian firefighters, or members, I should say. That's 27 of those. I still hear things from time to time that we spend thousands of dollars on these individuals. We get them trained up, and then they get hired and they leave to Lower Mainland organizations. I'm proud to say that I believe we have a member from this organization in every Lower Mainland organization around the Vancouver area. So I want to make sure the public understands that these Canadians that come over, they're already fire qualified. They've spent $16,000 to $20,000 of their own money before we will even accept their application here. And we spend no money on sending them to fire school or anything like that. They're allowed to go to EMT school in the state of Washington and become an EMT certified here to provide medical services to this community. They go under contract for that. And if they don't serve out their time, then it's pro rata, depending on the time that they did serve. So the taxpayers within this community are getting the most money for what we're doing with our individuals. And if individuals don't serve, that they end up paying back the district, so I can send somebody else to school. So before my time, there was no contracts. We lost thousands of dollars with people that we trained. They would get certified. A couple months later, they would be leaving and be hired somewhere else or just move on. So now, a very good system, I believe, is in place that protects the taxpayer funds. And again, we don't train any of the Canadian firefighters in firefighting skill sets. They have their Fire 1, Fire 2, IFSAC accredited, which is an International Fire Service accreditation. And their Fire 1, Fire 2 hazmat operations, and a whole host of other credentials, water rescue, trench, high angle, low angle, swift water. They have all these different credentialing that they have to have to become competitive in Canada. So a lot of organizations, I'll say Delta, required all of those certifications plus hazmat technician, which I will send my firefighters, which is free of charge, to the State Fire Academy for hazmat technician school. So hazardous materials incidents, that's what I'm talking about when I say hazmat. So, but that costs this agency, that's all paid for by state grants, so that doesn't cost this agency anything. So I want to help and remind the public the service that they're getting from my Canadian members and the true adding of, I guess I don't know what I would like to say on that. They add a great deal to this organization, and without them, we wouldn't be able to do everything that we're doing for our community at this time. We have very dedicated Point Roberts people that live here as well, and I provide the same opportunities for fire training, but I will pay for their training. When they're a U.S. citizen, I'll pay for that training. And they go under contract for the fire training as well, so if they don't serve out their time, they don't finish the training, the taxpayers get all that money back, or a portion of. Okay? So it's an incredible value with the mixture that we have. And our patch has both the Canadian and U.S. flag on it. It says Together in Unity, which is a saying down at the Peace Arch on one side of the arch there. It says Together in Unity, and it's a value because this is a community. We take care of each other. Okay? All right. That's it.
Unfinished business. Nothing from you, anything? Let's move on to new business.
No business.
You got new business? I'll agree with that.
No?
No, nothing? Are you satisfied?
We need to talk about 2 dates. Believe it or not, our budget cycle's coming up again, that we need to have our budget workshop. And we need to set some dates in October for that. And then I need to remind everybody, we discussed this a while back, I believe the November meeting is being moved to the first Wednesday, November 7th versus the 14th, because I am not available on the 14th, and that's when the budget is approved, and I want to definitely be here for that meeting. So Patty and I got together when she came up today, and if everybody could look at their calendars, October 25th is a Thursday, and if that works, or if that doesn't work for you.
Doesn't work for me, but no, I will be commissioned. I'd like to do that, but
Yeah, I mean, we can look at other dates as well, but none of the Wednesdays work for us, but October 25th was a day that we could do the budget meeting.
It's fine, Jim. It's fine.
you
You can, yeah, I'm okay for that.
I mean, October 18th. Can you be around October 18th?
know, I will be elsewhere.
I prefer the
I'm gone from the 17th till the end of the month.
Okay. So the 18th or the 25th, and when you're back, I could have a meeting specifically with you regarding the budget, and if you have any concerns, we can talk about those. And then,
Probably already have something done before I leave, anyhow.
yeah, because Patty and I will meet early October, and we'll start working on things and devising the 2019 year budget.
Oh, when you have that little meeting with Patty, why don't you call me and I'll be there too, and I'm satisfied.
Okay, we usually have that down in Ferndale. So, are you okay with driving down to Ferndale?
Well, we'll be in Bob's Tavern halfway.
No Bob's Tavern for me. No.
That's a good place.
Commissioner Harper, does October 25th work for you for a workshop?
As far as I know of, and I'll call you tonight if it's not.
Okay.
The way I understand, the only workshop in October, and then we have the hopefully the approval and passing of this thing in November.
That's correct.
Okay.
And it will, obviously, every year I review what the workshop was and what we came up with the budget through all of our discussions. And then we present it at the November 7th meeting. If there's still things that need to be worked through, then we can do that at that meeting as well.
What time?
We've had these at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
I don't know if that would work for you. Patty?
Well, the commissioners, I'll be here during this.
Yeah, I think our last year and the years before have been, Linda, I think they've been 1 o'clock. Are you available for the 25th?
I'll make myself available.
Okay. If that doesn't work out, Commissioner Harper, please let me know.
Yes.
And then we can have a discussion about setting up that workshop. So I'll reach out to all the commissioners and come up with another date that works for everyone if necessary.
Excuse me, Chief. Could we have it the same time as we usually do the commissioner meeting, 4 p.m.?
So 4 o'clock?
And that would work well with Linda with.
Okay, that's just, yep, that's perfectly fine for me. Are you guys okay with 4 o'clock? Sure.
Instead of,
1 o'clock
yeah,
So Thursday, October 25th at 4 p.m.
at 4 p.m. will be the budget workshop. And then again, for the meeting minutes, November 7th is going to be the commissioner meeting in November versus November 14th. It'll be November 7th. And regular time 4 p.m.
Well, Chief, between you and me, I can probably get satisfied, at least get over the whole thing, from my part, before I leave. Second week of November, so I'm sure you'll have figures, and then we'll go over it, and
Okay.
I'll be able to say my thing, and do whatever you want.
We don't have auditor in 19, it's 20, is it? It's
Correct.
2020?
Yes.
Yeah, you called me on that, that's
Yes.
2020.
Because she requested, they were doing some transitions, and normally we get audited every 3 years.
Yeah.
She asked if we could do a 4-year and then bump us back to the 3-year, and I said that would be great.
We never said every 4 years, we would like that too.
And that's coming up in 2020, not 2019.
So let's see, we were already 15, so 16 through 19, which would be in 2020.
Yeah, because that's usually about a $10,000 budget item.
I know.
Yes.
to pay for our audit. So 2019, hopefully we don't have to
Yeah.
budget that.
So, we're gonna complete that.
We could go 4 years.
Or 1 year, plan, yes.
Every 10 years. The unemployment rate would go up in that. Okay, anything else, folks? No? Anything from the floor? No? Mr. Gov, any questions? No?